Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, some think we are underestimating the economic risk China's coronavirus poses. And first up today, there was another very large jump in the official tally of coronavirus confirmed victims and deaths, reaching 37,600 and 814 respectively. We're heading for a doubling in a week. Now, more people have died from the 2020 coronavirus in 3 weeks than the 2003 SARS virus in 9 months. And infection rates are now rising fast in economically vital Chinese coastal cities far from the outbreak's epicenter, raising uncertainty of how many manufacturers will be able to resume production this week. Their government is eyeing further delays in restarting their economy after the Spring Festival extended break. One new issue is revealing itself. The test they are using produces high levels of false negative results. And in Hong Kong, with memories of SARS still around, panic hoarding of vital supplies is causing huge problems in the city. They are bracing for a surge in cases, just like across the border. And back in China, the economic impact of the disaster is becoming apparent. 1/3 of SMEs in a prestigious survey said they can only survive 1 month of this crisis before declaring bankruptcy. Another third that could only survive 8 weeks. Official interest rate cuts and instructions to banks to defer loan payments are not going to be enough to save most of them. And now experts are calling for rent reductions and rent holidays for businesses. More locally, Westpac economists are saying we are greatly underestimating the likely economic impact in Australia and New Zealand. In the US, non-farm payrolls reports grew by 225,000 jobs in January, of which 34,000 were for part-time positions. And that was far better than the modest 147,000 rise in December. The participation rate remains weak, however, at 63.4%. Manufacturing lost more jobs, while the gainers were healthcare, and strong gains were recorded for warehouse workers, couriers and messengers, and cafe and fast food workers. The Canadian labour market data was a little better. They grew by 35,000 jobs for them, and all in full-time work. In Australia, a kind of housing frenzy has burst into life from strong competition by first home buyers who have lifted selling prices and boosted auction clearing rates to about 80% in Sydney and Melbourne last week and this weekend. US Treasury 10-year yield is just on 1.58%, and that's a 7 basis points decline from this time on Friday. And gold has risen again, up another $4 to $1,570 an ounce. A week ago, however, it was $1,583 an ounce, so that's a small net loss in the last week. And US oil prices are a little lower today, at just under $50.50 a barrel. The Brent benchmark has also slipped to just under $54.50 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar will start down 0.5 cent today from Friday at just on 64 US cents. And that's its lowest level since November. On the cross rates, we're unchanged at just on 95.9 Aussie cents, and against the euro we're lower too at 58.5 euro cents. That takes our trade-weighted index down to 69.8. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.